You are listening to the audio production of Walking Through Infertility, Biblical, Theological, and Moral Counsel for Those Who Are Struggling by Matthew Arbo, published by Audiobooks. This book was originally published by Crossway and is read by Tom Parks. To Patrick and Jennifer. Forward, Karen Swallow Pryor. I'll never forget the moment I realized that I hadn't been given the gift of musicality. As the granddaughter of an accomplished bandmaster and the daughter of a lifelong choir singer, I was 6 when, immediately upon showing an interest, I was started on piano lessons. For years, I had weekly instruction and practice daily at home on our old wooden upright. One afternoon, I arrived at my piano teacher's house early and sat in the foyer to await the end of the session of the student ahead of me. The girl was a year older than me, but I knew she'd been taking lessons for less time than I had. Sitting quietly by myself, listening to her play, I noticed a smoothness and gracefulness in her notes I had never heard from my own fingers. In that instant, I recognized for the first time, not for any lack of trying or desire, I truly lacked musical talent. Suddenly, I felt free. I was but a teenager, but I had figured out on my own what no one else seemed able to see or willing to say. I quit piano lessons and took up cross-country. I've been running ever since. My journey through infertility replicated this experience in significant ways. Like most women, I desired from a young age to become a mother someday and assumed that I would. Everyone around me, particularly in our church life, appeared to share this assumption. When my husband and I didn't conceive right away, everyone seemingly assumed we would follow the prescribed course for most infertile couples, partaking of increasingly invasive and risky procedures until pregnancy was achieved. No one advised us to stop and consider that perhaps God simply wasn't going to give us the gift of children. But my husband had the wisdom to apply the brakes. Yes, we desired the gift of children, but we weren't willing to create life in ways that we believe risk harm to that life. Notably, the verse in Psalms that proclaims that children are a gift of the Lord, 127 verse 3, is preceded 2 verses before with the caution, "Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain." Psalm 127 verse 1. Not long after we were married, a family member gave me some of her old maternity clothes, baby clothes, and a fold-up stroller. Unquestioningly, I took them home and packed them safely away for some day. Because it was a long time before my husband and I learned that we were infertile, we dutifully lugged these items around for years, from apartment to apartment, where they took up scant closet space, before eventually giving them away to someone who could actually use them. It was even longer before I realized what a burden that baggage had been, and I don't mean the baby supplies. The real baggage was the presumption that every godly family follows the same course and achieves the same standard outcome. God's design for the family, the fruitful marriage between a man and a woman, the union of 2 image-bearers that brings forth more image-bearers, is mysterious, wonderful, and good. To desire such is good. Both marriage and children are God's good gifts. But to assume that God will give certain gifts is not good, nor is it good to cultivate within the church the presumption that God is going to give His gifts to everyone, just as surely as I won't be accompanying next week's soloist at the piano. To have one's longing to marry and have children go unmet is, as with any frustrated desire, disappointing. However, the depth of that disappointment can be increased even beyond what is natural with the additional imposition of expectations, whether others or our own. As Matt writes in the following pages, every experience of infertility
Sample complete. Ready to continue?